Hey, Jim. It's a little blustery today, so if you hear anything in the background, it's just the wind. Today, we're going to work on that Mercedes-Benz SL500 a little bit more. I'm going to talk about taking the trunk lid off, and then there's a complicated hinge mechanism because it's the retractable hardtop that goes, the hinge mechanism goes two different ways, so it's a kind of a neat thing. I'm going to show how to remove that, and then the main thrust of this, I believe, is going to be the removal of the rear bumper skin. Oh, and removal of the tail lights. So let's get at it. I am disassembling this car and parting it out. And oh yeah, I got to put the batteries back in soon so I can move these seats because I have to remove them. But today, let's talk about what happens back here. As you can plainly see, I've already started this project. I'm going to start with the deck lid. It's pretty easy to remove. First of all, if you're taking off the liner, this is what it looks like on the back side. It has a bunch of these little clips, so you just have to kind of pop each one of them out, and you can't really reach some of these with a tool to help you, so you have to just kind of muscle it out. But that's the liner underneath the deck lid. And then the deck lid, it has 3 studs that stick down through these holes, and then there's nuts on them. Let me show you. This is the deck lid, and you can see 1, 2, 3, and the outline of where it was originally mounted. Yes, this is the deck lid over my Viking stove, and I'm gonna put the tail lights here and the side skins there. That's why there's tape on here. And that's why, because that's where I'm going to cut. And that's why I started to gut this whole trunk. So anyway, now you've taken off the deck lid, which you don't have to do to remove the back bumper. And you also don't have to take off the big hinge assembly. So you do have to remove these carpet pieces here. And they come out with, there are some rivets, plastic 2-piece rivets here and there that hold them in. And then you just kind of have to muscle it out at the end. It kind of is not that easy to get these out, but they come out undamaged. You have to do that on both sides. You have to remove this whole cargo cover thing that slides in and out. The fabric goes back up under here, and there are snaps. I was able to get a little pry tool in there and pop each one, pop, pop, and then it comes loose. And then there's one down on the side, which is this guy right there. There's one right at the end. So once you get all those out, then this whole thing comes out. This is that whole crazy hinge assembly that is surprisingly, this part is the part that goes to the trunk lid, which we've already removed. But then you see down here, this is where it actually bolts into the car. And there's only a few bolts. It's kind of surprising, all that action and weight going on. It's only, I think, 6 bolts. So this is the passenger side, and it has a regular helping strut on it. And this is the driver's side, and you see there's no strut. There's this little pin, and that's where there's a hydraulic ram that attaches on that pin, and then down here at the bottom. Let me show you that hydraulic ram. It would be this little guy right here. So now, of course, this is the pump for the hydraulic system that runs the retractable hardtop. Now, if you're trying to get your back bumper skin off after you've removed all of this inner lining stuff, then over here you have a navigation thing that is held in with a bunch of stupid little weird torque screws. And you absolutely have to take that off, which this one's already off. And then when you get back into the back here, you're going to think you're already looking at the outside of the car because they stuffed this piece of foam inside this hole. You got to pry the foam out of this hole. Once you get the foam out of the hole, now we're into getting our bumper off. So there's a bolt there and a bolt there. I think they're 10 millimeters. So you have to get clear into here to get those two stupid little bolts off. And they put the nav thing right in front of here because they hate all of us. So on this side, there's also some stuff. Oh, I forget what was here. I think there was, this bracket was here somehow. I forgot even what it was holding. But, and again, on this side, there's a piece of black foam in there. And then there's the bolt there. And then back there. Then the next bolts you have to get are down in here. And let's see where it is. Oh, it's over there. This hole right there. There's a 10 millimeter nut on that one. So that's right underneath the end of the tail light. And the other side, it is over here. It's underneath these guys. You can see it back there. But that's also a 10 millimeter that you have to get to that's hidden by a bunch of stuff. And be careful when you're ratcheting away on those two on the inside of the fender, because that's the skin of your car. So if you're ratcheting away and bunk, you hit the end of the ratchet on the inside of the wall there, you could put a dent that'll show on the outside of the car. So careful. If you're pulling the complete hinge assembly out of your car, you're going to have to take the wiring harness off. It's got plugs, everything unplugs relatively easily, and then it runs along the hinge, and it's got a bunch of really weird little clips and connectors that hold it to the hinge. But if you go through nice and slow and just look at each one, they all open up and you can take the harness off. It's pretty long. Let me show you. So these are some of the end connectors. This is I think that's an air hose. Then there's like this little plug here, a couple little plugs there, and then it just keeps going and going and going. Let me show you some of the clips. These guys. You just unclip them and they let go of the metal arm that they're holding on to. You know, if I was taking this off and wanted to have to put it back on, I probably would have put little marks everywhere where all of these guys were so I could line them up again properly. So you have to ask yourself, how badly do you really want that AMG bumper skin? Because now, after all that, you have to jack the car up. You have to take the wheels off, which we're going to do right now. Oh. Oh, she's kind of stuck. Oh. There we go. Next, I'm going to take off like this guy here and Probably this guy here, so I can peel some of this plastic back, because there is a bolt I have to get through right there that's kind of hidden by this fender liner. So I don't have to take the whole thing off, but I need to be able to peel this back. So I might have to take a few other localized fasteners off to do that without wrecking anything. And then you gotta go underneath and let me see. You for sure have to undo all of these little torque screws, and then I'll have to see, I don't know if that one has to come undone, and there's another one there. I'll have to see about those. The screws closest to the wheel wells did have to be removed. Those other two bottom screws also needed to come out. So we're off. What do we got here? Okay, if it's under the bumper and it looks like a torque screw, take it out. All of them. Anything you can see under there, they all have to come out. And that's how I took my bumper shell off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna need to cut this back by the taillights. I know where I'm gonna cut it here, but I need to figure out how I'm gonna cut it here. And I don't know if I want to carry this all the way across and make it one piece for both sides. I don't know. I'm gonna need it to be underneath here to make it all one piece, or do I just start with the tail light and then a little bit of the side, and I won't add any of the structure under here? I don't think, but we'll have to see. Thanks for watching.